So today is Mother's Day, and just wanted to say happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful women out there who struggle every day debating if they should put their kids up for sale or not. Just kidding. But one thing that I have noticed this week that I really wanted to talk about was that nobody talks. Nobody talks about their feelings, what they're going through. Nobody ever wants to talk, especially when you hit a depressed state. You know, when you're going through depression or a low state of mind, whatever it may be. Like, you feel embarrassed. You feel like nobody will relate to you. People will think you're crazy or, just get over it. Not being yourself just because you feel like nobody is going to relate to you or people are going to judge you. Until we grow up and learn to love ourselves is the point in your life to where you will not give a damn, and you will be amazed by how many people you attract by being you. I've already done it, but today I want to admit my wrongs, because people don't like to admit when they're wrong, because you feel devalued in a way, like you don't want to feel stupid, or you don't want to feel like your opinion doesn't matter, or that the way you're thinking is not being held in some way or some shape or form of importance. But in reality, it takes a strong person to admit that they're wrong, to enable themselves to grow and become wiser. When I first experienced depression, I didn't even know that it was even depression. It was my senior year of high school. It was when my parents got divorced. I wouldn't say first time in my life, because growing up I had a lot of rough patches, rough times growing up outside of the household, but looking back now, knew that it was my first interaction with being depressed. I ended up taking a lot of pills because I didn't know how to handle what I was going through. You're in a whole different total state of mind, and especially when you don't have help or you feel alone, unrelated to, and isolated enough to feel like nobody will help you. Like you're in this on your own. And I'm very open about this stuff now to be able to talk about it, because I'm strong enough to know that will never happen again. It was like 2010. I know that I didn't want to. I know I was playing basketball at that time too. I quit the basketball team. I just didn't. And that was the first time when I went against my own boundaries and not loving myself, because I remember being sent to the principal's office and them not wanting me to quit the team. They wanted me to stay on the team, and they brought the coach in as well. I think they knew that something was just off, and I knew something was off, and I just didn't want any part of it. And my dumbass, I went back on the team, and that was the first time in my life where I devalued myself, because I went against my boundaries, knowing that I felt uncomfortable with it, I didn't like it, and I disagreed with it. I started my road in learning my passion with my cars and my career path aside from that, and I'm very happy. I do not miss it one bit, not at all. I would never go back to that time. And then the second time I witnessed my depressed state was, I didn't know to ask for help, was 2 years ago. I was driving. It was when me and my late boyfriend broke up, and he was going back to Texas or whatever. And I remember feeling very upset and tired, and it was the very first time since 2010 that I had felt, this grass is kind of wet, I don't think I'm gonna sit on it, but I had felt those feelings again, those same feelings. And I remember I was driving late at night because my mind was just going. I didn't know who to ask for help. I didn't understand that I was depressed. I did not understand it. I didn't get it because I'm the type of person who will get up, get out of bed. I will push myself up to stay busy. I'm not that person that will stay in the house and waste my life away at all. So I didn't understand what the hell it was. And why I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I needed help or I needed someone to help me figure it out so I knew what to do. But late at night, my mind was just racing, and I went driving. I was in my Subaru, and I had my gun in the car, and I remember cocking it. I remember that I had a couple of bullets left after the shooting range that I saved, because I was always told to at least save 1 to 3 bullets and get like 2 dummy bullets in case of, just protecting yourself. So I always kept spares, right? And so I remember cocking it, and I remember it getting stuck. And it did. It got stuck. My gun has never gotten stuck on me before for the years of me having it. And I could not, the bullet was not in there. I couldn't even tell you where the hell it went. The bullets were gone. Till this day, I don't even know where my spare bullets went. And I found 1 spare bullet, and guess what? All of the gunpowder was out of it. So if that's not God, I don't know what is. Like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to go anywhere. I'm supposed to inspire. I'm supposed to continue with my passion that I'm going on right now. Like, the Lord keeps placing these amazing blessings in my life, and I didn't even notice it 2 years ago. And it's so sad that I had to go through a depression for the 3rd time for me to freaking realize I am important, I am loved, and I finally freaking spoke up and said something about it. I was driving my car, and I was on my way up to Payson, and I started asking for help, reaching out for help. I have to give a shout out to RIS, because thank you for noticing that, because I didn't know any other way. That was my way of reaching out for help, and I finally did. That's all it takes, is for you to talk about it, you to hint one little thing to somebody that you're having a really hard time, and if that somebody is going to be there for you, they are going to help you. And that's why I'm so open about talking about it now, because I feel so much stronger than I did 2 years ago. Like, this past week I have been very humble. I've noticed that I'm really focused on myself. But I've noticed I'm really humble. Like, I am very calm, talk to people very calm. I'm very optimistic. I had people that helped me through it and that offered me help, and I took it. And that's all it takes, because it's so sad, because people feel embarrassed, and you shouldn't feel embarrassed. This stuff happens every day. It happens to so many people. Like, if you are having a hard time, ask for help, because as long as you take that help, your life will change. And I asked for help this time when I was in a depressed state. I did not look for ways of erasing it like I did in high school and like I did 2 years ago. I actually reached out for help, even though I was having those thoughts, and ultimately they're suicidal thoughts. And I was just so proud of myself this time to be able to say something about it. And now I am going to counseling, therapy, and I'm working on my tools. I'm working on my boundaries every single day. And it just sucks that a lot of people don't communicate. Like, you guys need to ask for help no matter what you're doing. Even if you have a project inside your house and you're dreading that project and you're too tired to do it, ask for help. It's anything in your life, just ask for help. Like, nobody becomes successful without the help of others. Remember that. And so when I was hitting this low point in my life, when I was finally asking for help, my ex-partner did leave, and that hurt really bad, because after leaving, it hurts to know that you still have one foot in the door, one foot out, and you're being sent messages, and then you're sent pictures of him being with another girl, and that hurts. Okay, that hurts for any woman, even a man, to see someone who you love, who you're not even sure, even though you're going through a rough time, and you know that even though you're taking a break, but you're seeing somebody with someone else where it does look intimate. That is difficult, and it is very hard to handle those emotions by yourself, because immediately you feel like you're not good enough, immediately, and then you immediately are like, well, what about what we promised each other? What about what we're working for? Are you not going to fight with me? I've been fighting. You go back in your head. What I learned, was that I have this issue with abandonment, okay? And that's the root to me as a person that I need to embed boundaries in. And with that, I wasn't perfect in the relationship either. Like, for example, I'm very open because I know what my intentions were, and now I'm learning to do different stuff in healthier ways. Like, for example, I hid a name in my phone. I put it under a different name, because I have guy friends. I do have male friends. I have a friend who I've known for 7+ years. It's just, growing up, I have always hung out with the guys. I used to dress like a guy. I always wore shorts. I didn't start dressing like a girl until freshman year of high school. And I didn't start making girlfriends until about 6th, 7th grade is when I started making girlfriends. And I think that's where it's rooted in me today, where I have a hard time catching on cues from other males as far as if they have good intentions or if they have bad intentions. And especially with me being in a relationship. And that's where the root of our problems stem from, because I need to understand those cues, and it's harder for me to understand that than just you or somebody normal walking across the street, because of how I grew up. I grew up in that type of environment, and so, lucky for me, it's a little harder to pick up on the bad intention cues, especially if they know I have a boyfriend. And that's where the root of the problem was, and I should not have changed that name in my phone. But I wanted to change the name in my phone because he told me that he did not like this person. But I enjoyed the friendship. I enjoyed that friendship. I just didn't want him to have to worry about it. It was my way of being like, you don't have to worry about this person. I love you. I want you. But if you don't see this name pop up, you won't think about it. We won't have this conversation again. And that's where I went wrong, because ultimately I should not have done that. We should have talked about it. We did not communicate about it. And so I was handling the situation by myself, wanting him to trust me. And it just did the opposite. You know what I mean? And I just want good friends in my life, good people who are on my level, whether that's female or male. I apologized. I'm so sorry for me having to take those steps, not learning healthier steps to take as far as being in a relationship and having male figures in my life. Going forward right now, I'm literally in a relationship for myself. I'm getting dressed for myself. I'm putting on makeup for myself. I'm doing my hair thinking, well, I like it like this today, or should I do it another way? I want to adopt these tools. I want to keep going, so that way I can become stronger and wiser. I am in love with me. I love who I am. I love everything about me. I've been having such a good time with myself this past week. I looked in the mirror and I told myself I love you, and it felt so good. It takes strong people to want to change for themselves to want to learn to love themselves, to bring that forth into your relationship, to make a stronger us. Because you cannot make a stronger us until you make a stronger you. And that it hurts me to know that I took certain steps to make him feel unloved, to make him feel unvalued. And I'm sure it hurts him that he took some steps to make me feel unimportant, to make me feel like I'm not good enough. It takes strong people to work on loving yourselves and to work on love being by yourself, so that way you can bring that to a relationship and become a better us. You are a fucking superhero, and keep going, keep living life like you give a damn, and keep doing like there's no tomorrow.